Good morning, East Texas. It's time to rise and shine with the sun. The Grand Saline sun. Right here on VZTV. Grab your coffee and come join the fun.
Okay, here we are. I figured I'd start off the morning. Corbin got this big old bright light shining in my eyes right now. I'm going to try to do this without my glasses, but anyway, we want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Tuesday morning show. Yesterday was a little bit crazy because, you know, there were reports out earlier that Governor Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, was going to come to Canton and address the people. And so we sort of scrambled over the weekend to get things figured out. We got to give a big shout out to Corbin's buddy, Oscar. He come in here. They had already been planning on doing the show when it was discovered that the governor's event was going to start yesterday at noon. Mm-hmm. I had to get out of here as quick as possible. So I got to say a shout out to these two young tykes over here, Corbin and Katie. Thank y'all so much for carrying the show with us yesterday while I was run over. I watched it listened to it on the way over to Canton, and y'all did a great job, and thank you, Oscar, for being a part of that. And so clap, 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 clap. I'm going to apologize right now. When the camera hits Katie, she's going to yawn.
I'm sorry.
And you're going to start yawning. No matter, this is supposed to be like a fresh cup of coffee. She's going to give you a big old piece of turkey, it looks like.
Keep talking about it.
There she goes again. And there we go. We got them all started. And let's just see how. Hey, Corbin, can we put a yawn count down there in the bottom of the camera? That would be awesome. How many yawn counts can we get before the end of the show? Anyway, so before we get to anything, I want to let's tap in a little bit of smoke signals, because I try to keep my monologue going, and every now and then I skip it out like yesterday because, well, we had so much going on. But let's get to the monologue I had for yesterday. Roll the smoke signals. I don't know about y'all. That just gets my head bopping. Anyway, guys, my smoke signals for today is ignore the wrong smoke signals. It's called propaganda. You know, I've mentioned it time and time again, and I guess maybe it's because it's my field of what I do. But I get sick and tired of seeing media misrepresenting information for one purpose or the other. I told my children when they came in, do not soften the blow. Do not exaggerate it if you're trying to frame. Give me the straight truth. Give me the facts and let me decide for myself. And that's sort of what we aim to do right here on VZTV. And so, therefore, as I move forward, you know, I put it into AI how I would frame it, you know, in a time frame that would last the amount of time I wanted on this. But then I got to reading what it came up with, and I really laughed about it because it says the pill, the hook, and the mirror. And I love how it framed it with the information that I got it, because there are 5 major things that I do as a journalist. I do what, when, where, why, and how. And those 5 questions, I ask, and I look for the basic answer. I don't look for the fluff. I don't look for the smoke. I look for the embers down here, and I look for the cause and the core. And not only do we look for what they're feeding you, when you have somebody trying to give you propaganda to feed, and I don't have to tell you it ain't propaganda. Go turn on different news channels that are on 24 hours a day, and you're going to get a different message. So therefore, when I say look at the propaganda, you look at it, but look at what they want you to believe. Always look at what they want you to buy. When you are at a car lot, and I know many of you, which I don't know, it may have changed since the day of my dad would go there and he would, I can talk a car salesman down and all this, but the car salesman goes in there and he wants you to see the leather seats. He wants you to see the shiny engine and the rims and all that stuff. But when you start looking as the consumer, you're looking for the scratches, the dents, the bugs, the fuel mileage, and all the reputation of it to break down. So the salesman's trying to give you propaganda because he wants you to buy that car. Same thing with your politics. It should be more important with your politics, because your politics translates to policy. Your policy that affects your life. So why do you go out and kick the tires on your car, but you just buy a policy sight unseen, no warranty? Let's get beyond that. But not only do we have to recognize what they don't want us to see, we also got to understand the hook. When they take and they give you a point on the hook, that point on that hook is generally the shiniest part of it. That's where the little plastic worm is that catches the catfish's eye when you're fishing. And you got to think about that hook that's inside that worm. If something looks really good, like that little plastic worm up there, if it looks too good, think about the hook. How are you going to get hooked into it? Who benefits it? Who benefits the most and the least? Apply your what, when, where, why, and how on every bit of it, and apply it all to motive. There was a little smooching going on over there.
No,
I
there
saw
wasn't.
that.
No.
Anyway, and then also we have to sit back and look at ourselves, look in the mirror, and put the what, when, where, why, and how to you. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? Where did you hear it from? How did you how did you come to that point in your life? And look at it this way. Is it something that benefits you, or does it benefit somebody else? And if it benefits somebody else and not benefits you, why are you supporting it? We got to get past the plastic worm. We got to start realizing there's a hook on the other end of that line. Because I'm telling you right now, if you fall for the pill, you'll bite the hook. And then when you look in the mirror, you're laying on a butcher slab because you done took the worm, you done been in the boat, and you done been filleted, and now you're being fried. Let's not fry our society. Let's keep our liberties free. That's my smoke signals for today. Thank y'all so much for tolerating my ranting and raving. Now let's kick it over to Miss Katie. You said you had a couple little stories that you thought were pretty neat for this morning.
Yeah. Okay. So director Carl Wrench, I think that's how you say his name, was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for $11 million in fraud for an unfinished Netflix show.
And that's sort of, and I don't want to make light of this. It was for an unfinished deal. I wonder what the situation behind that is.
I have no idea.
As us sitting here trying to build a television station, we go out and we try to sell ads for a future that's uncertain. I'm wondering if this could be one of those situations where the guy went out, had something. He had a lot of investors that came in, said they were going to do something. They backed out at the last minute, and, he was unable to fulfill.
You would think, but he supposedly spent $638,000 on 2 mattresses, clothes, household goods, cars, watches, all of that.
So basically,
he went and moved that money into his personal account and spent it on luxury.
So basically, he spent his profits before the product was produced,
Yeah.
and so that's where you get into the other side of things like that. And he's how many years?
2.5.
Well, not long enough if you're going to steal somebody's money like that, in my opinion. You can ask anybody that advertises on VZTV. You can ask anybody that does business with us.
Mm-hmm.
We go overboard trying to make sure that we deliver everything we can.
Oh, yeah. And if y'all don't know who he is, he directed the 2013 samurai fantasy film 47 Ronin. That's what he's best known for.
I guess
I haven't seen it.
That's why I don't know. I don't guess.
But he told Netflix he needed $11 million to finish a show called White Horse, but he went and moved that money into his personal accounts. So
Then that didn't do too well for him, did it?
Nope.
Okay.
He was convicted back in December.
All right, let me go back down here. You said you had one more story to share?
Yes. So.
A Venezuelan earthquake.
Oh yeah. So there have been like a series of earthquakes over in Venezuela, and it's killed, as of right now, 1,700 people. So they're
y'all be sure
doing a bunch of rescue efforts and all that stuff, but it is very sad.
Yeah, y'all be sure and keep that whole
country.
Yeah, the whole country, the whole continent in your prayers. Unlike Texas, when something like that happens, it affects the whole bunch of them over there. Y'all, and again, we have the Maybank Fire Marshal that was our fire captain. I also learned he was a police officer as well, sort of like what Chief Barker does over here.
He's chief of police and fire.
And so I don't think this guy was a chief of police, but I think he was sort of like some of the other officers there in Grand Saline.
Yeah.
TJ Foster, one of them, that he's a police officer, but he's also a firefighter. So let me get down here. The city of Grand Saline has released a statement on the discoloration of the water. And if you've followed anything, you know, of course, water quality is always at the forefront of most of these small communities that run on a shoestring budget. And Grand Saline has recently had an uprising in water complaints. But the good thing about it, the city decided to release a statement yesterday, and I'm just going to read it in full. It says the city understands residents' concern regarding water discoloration. According to longtime residents, this has been an issue experienced intermittently for 6 or more decades. It is agreed that action is needed. While these concerns do not develop overnight, addressing aging infrastructure will require time, planning, and significant financial investment. Over the past 6 months, the city has I think my dyslexia was jumping around there. Okay, over the past 6 months, the city has actively pursued multi-grant opportunities to help fund long-term improvements to the water system. There we go. There's that system. As previously reported, these grants are intended to assist with projects such as new water wells, water line replacements, storage improvements, and other infrastructure upgrades. Unfortunately, even after grant funding is awarded, the process remains lengthy. Engineering design, environmental reviews, permitting, and bidding must all occur before construction can begin, and construction itself often takes many months. And so it talks about other things. Y'all can find that full statement on Grand Saline Sun on Facebook. We also want to direct you guys over to the YouTube. Everything that we do is a process as well, and Corbin is adding content over to the YouTube side of that. So
you can see our interview with Mr. Oscar Barbeau, Corbin's best friend. You can go and watch that on YouTube, or you can watch it on the app.
Yeah, so those are all up. Also, the Governor Abbott press conference is up on the app for video on demand if you want to do that. But anyway, y'all go read the Grand Saline city statement on that. Also, I wanted to point out a couple of other things. First, on the Grand Saline Sun page, the family of Glenn Woodrum is got a GoFundMe out there. Mr. Woodrum, this is a lifelong friend of the family. Go to church with Kevin, and we're thinking about you guys. Anyway, he suffered a long-term illness, and as anybody knows, long-term illness drains the family, plus the end-of-life cost. So if y'all feel led, y'all go find that GoFundMe and help this family out. Also, Katie was showing me something.
I was just showing you. I thought it was funny because me and my friend Lauren, we've been talking about how she looks like she reminds us of a character in one of our books. She just points at people.
She was pointing out, I don't know if y'all saw it on there, Wallace and Murray Insurance is a big advertiser for us, so we thank you, Aaron Shin over there. And he put up an advertisement, said something.
Who's your favorite insurance agent?
Yeah.
And it's, what's her name? Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia Cunningham. There it is.
Yeah.
She plays
one of
with
her pointing pictures.
Yeah, she plays with Caitlin Clark on basketball, and it says, who's the best insurance. Anyway, I'll share that, and she was talking about that. And if you want your ad on Facebook, Grand Saline Sun Facebook, we've got 24,000. We're rocking up close to 24/7 now. So if you want to get that, reach out there. If you want to be on the show, you see these ads that are right here, you be sure and reach out to us, because that's how we want to meet our commitments as well. That's how we stay on air. Anyway, the Grand Saline FFA said this past Friday, 7 of their members attended the Mineola District Leadership Camp. The students were able to attend workshops, build their leadership skills, and engage in other FFA members in our district. Our Students also had the opportunity to compete in an opening ceremony contest. They placed first in their room, advancing to finals. In finals, Bryson received the Dream Team Vice President. So I don't know who Bryson is, but congratulations, Bryson, from Grand Saline FFA. Also, did you hear about this one? And I had to share this just because BERT County, North Carolina. BERT, BERTIE.
Oh, is that the jail?
Yes, the jail inmates took over the jail for, I think it was about 8 hours, was it? I think it was 8 hours.
It just says several hours.
Okay, several hours before.
Started at 5 a.m., ended just before 2 p.m.
So they were a control of the facility for a while, and I will tell you, number one, the life of them COs is not something to take lightly. I was the guy that watched what they went through on the other side of the glass because I was a bad boy and was paying for my crimes, and so therefore I watched them. So y'all, that was one that I saw was an interesting. So we also have the Fruitvale FFA. They attended, they kicked off their weekend bright and early Friday morning, attending the Mineola District Leadership Camp. We were especially proud of our own Kaylin Shields, who helped lead the camp in her role as a Mineola District Officer. Kaylin presented a workshop focused on creative ways to get junior FFA members involved and engaged, and she did get an outstanding job representing both our chapter and district. After camp, we hit the road and traveled to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, where we spent the next day and a half planning for an exciting year ahead. Between brainstorming new ideas, setting goals, and building stronger relationships as an officer team, we laid the foundation for what we know will be an incredible year for Fruitvale FFA. So go check out our Facebook page if you want to hear, read more about these stories. See the pictures of the names. We haven't got them implemented yet. Some of these things, literally the past couple of weeks has just been really a scramble. I'm just going to say it. We've just been scrambling. And so we're just now getting to the point. We've got some things going on. But anyway, let's jump out there to a little bit of Wood County news. About 18 hours ago, Wood County now posted that the Meredith Foundation continues to invest in local education, recently providing funding for 100 new convertible cafeteria tables for the Mineola Intermediate. So we see a lot of that good growth. There is a neon party. The Glow Party here at the Grand Saline City Pool, July 6th, 6 to 10 p.m. Under 3 p.m. is under 3 p.m.
Under 3 years old.
Under 3 years old are free. 3 to 12, 5 years. And if you're an old fart,
$5. He said 5 years.
Just slap me. I need a reset. Somebody unplug my. Somebody turn the power off and turn me back on in about 5 seconds.
With the nowadays society, can I identify as 3 years old?
No, stop.
Well, it depends on how he acts.
No.
He acts 3. He acts 3.
We're not going to talk about how he acts. Anyways, under 3 is free. 3 to 12 is $5. 13 and up is $7.
I just had that Dumb and Dumber moment where he's sitting there reading the flyer, they're reading the article, and he gets stuck on. That's a hard one, and he says, "Here, I'll take the." That was the word he got stuck on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys come. There will be fun music, prizes, and neon.
Yep. So wear neon colors, your bathing suits, all that stuff. Be bright.
What in the world was that? Oh, Corbett, boy, he started messing with me. He put, hey, I'm all down for that. I just didn't know what was going on. You about to see BERT panic over here. That is going to be sponsored by Farmhouse Sub Shop, Wicks and Whimsy, and the Feed Hut Barbecue. Also, Fruitvale First Baptist Church is having their 121st homecoming. Now, if you think about that, 121st, over a century that this church has been fellowshipping. And I said,
on Sunday.
It's on Sunday.
July 5th.
Guest speaker, bro Robert Cook, and the Tender Mercies are going to be singing. And so y'all be sure and go check out the First Baptist Church in Fruitvale, or Fruitvale First Baptist Church. Again, kicking off at 10 a.m. and potluck to follow. And let me tell you guys, as a preacher's kid, you ain't going to find no more finer food than at a potluck at a Pentecostal or a Baptist church. So,
And the day before that, 4th of July, they're having a little party over there, so go check that out.
Yep, I was just scrolling down. Thank you, Miss Katie. And then I guess that's about all of our news update for that. And just in case you guys did not see yesterday, I was live at the Greg Abbott press conference where he discussed his initiative on property tax reform. So what we're going to do, even though it is up on the VZTV app, some of you may be sitting at work today and you're like, I don't want to do that. I want to. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a viewing of it here, and then it's going to be uninterrupted. What do you got, girl?
I still have a news thing.
Oh, she got a
It's
news
about
thing.
the birthright.
Oh, yes. Go for it. Let's drop it.
Okay, so the Supreme Court upholds birthright citizenship, rejecting Trump's proposed limits. I can't even talk. This happened on Tuesday. They upheld a broad conception of birthright citizenship, rejecting President Donald Trump's executive order declaring that children born to people who are in the United States illegally or temporarily are not American citizens. The justice relied on a long-settled understanding of the 14th Amendment adopted after the Civil War and more recent federal laws in ruling that anyone born in the country, with very limited exceptions, is a citizen.
And it was a broad law when it was written. And, it is something that's been on the books for such a long time. It's going to take a lot of, testing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fought. It's going to be foughted. It's going to be fought really hard in the courts, because there are, with means of transportation these days, it is easy to manipulate that law. That's a clear sign of our law that comes from way back when, before, and its intention and its purpose was pure. At least that's what I personally believe.
Oh, I do too, because half of my mom's side of the family is from Mexico. They came, so my great-great-grandpa, his wife, and
hey, Ice, don't come breaking in our door just because she admitted that.
They're here legally, I promise you. But they came from Mexico with, I don't know, I think they had 5 children at that point. I know he has 11 brothers and sisters. My great-grandpa did. So they're... And... you want to turn it down?
I'm trying.
So they came over here, and they had my great-grandpa, my Nana's dad, right after they moved here. And they didn't have any intention of ever going back.
Right.
So, I mean, I can't really speak on that too much, but back then it was, used how it was supposed to be.
And as a lot of people that know me know, immigration is one of my biggest hang-ups on that, because I don't like either side's approach to it. I don't like labeling everybody that comes to our border looking for a better life as a terrorist, but I also don't like letting the terrorist in so we can let every bleeding heart out there that's got a story out there in, because we do have we need to take sanctity of our homeland as a well, I'm just going to say it. Look how well it worked out for the Indians. They didn't have any immigration policy. They didn't have any border walls. They didn't have nothing go on. And look what happened. Us white people took over. I mean, so the proof is in the pudding of the failures of not having closed borders. Yeah. So therefore, we have to figure out a way to do it to where, because also at our Statue of Liberty that has become a national treasure, it has become. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Julio. Julio told me I still haven't fixed the car. Matter of fact, I'll get that fixed. I'll give you a shout out at the weather side, man. I've been trying to, but it's been crazy, dude. Anyway, but the Statue of Liberty, this is one of our national treasures and stuff like that. It says, give me your hungry, you're broken. And, and we look. And a lot of times I think complacency has gotten what's going on in our heads around here is because of, the complacency is we see what we have. Yeah. And we're blessed here beyond all measure. We don't understand what other
Oh, they're awful.
Yeah, I mean, some places are just terrible. And if you look and you see what we present, I mean, not only do we get to, it's seen, it's on the internet, it's on television. I mean, everybody knows about America. Even people that knew about America come to America and find out, wow, this is even better than I thought.
Yeah.
And so I wish we could figure out a way to come along because, I love our country and I want to share our country. I'm one of those guys that if you come in and you've got the better intent and you could take our society up. Yeah, now, that's my thing. If you come in here, I understand right off the boat, you're not going to be able to come in here and contribute 100% because you still got to find lodging and stuff like that. And I want all common sense consideration placed into this, where we don't, I don't just go out there and grab every bush, every corn that's on the stalk. I look at the corn and make sure there ain't crap in it. There's ways of doing that in today's society.
Yeah, but also today's society, half the country hates America, which is ridiculous. Because if you hate it so much, why? Like we have been given the freedom, like everyone, not just that half, not this half, whatever. Everyone has been given the freedom to either love or hate this country. That's the only reason that they're allowed to do that is because they live here. And they were going around burning the flags for a while, all that stuff. And then they were being so
well, and that's
dramatic.
another thing. That's another thing. It's like when you do come to our country, I love Mexican food. Mm-hmm. I would be pissed off cracker if you've told me that when the Mexican population come into our country, they had to stop cooking that food and just give me hamburgers and fries. Yeah. Because I'd be mad because Bert likes his tacos, enchiladas, and fajitas. So therefore, I want you to bring your culture in. Matter of fact,
it's a beautiful culture.
Anybody that knows me, I took Taekwondo. The Asian cultures over there, Japan, Korea, stuff like that, I love a lot of their culture over there because of the respect they pay the elders, and that's something that has been lost in modern times. Oh, yeah. But I don't want you to come in and saturate your culture, my culture with your culture to the point of taking it over. So, and I know there's a fine line there. I mean, man is migratory, and I mean the face of America is
it's very diverse.
Exactly, and it's ever changing, and it's hard. Nobody likes change, but I believe that there's got to be some measure of human decency, but also a measure of, extreme precaution about who you let. I mean, I don't let people. I mean, Corbin, you can ask him, and he'll verify it's true. You've heard the story 1,000 times. Corbin had some friends at a younger age that lived in close proximity to our house, and they were always over at our house. We still think of those kids as ours today because we saw them, growing up. Mm-hmm. But those kids began to take a different path. Yeah. And it was a path that we did not want our son to even be associated with, and so we shut it down. Yeah. And so if you look at Corbin, he's not, I mean, he still sees them. He still may, they're cordial in the social settings, but they don't influence each other's lives in any form or fashion. And some may say, well, hey, Corbin may have been a good influence on those kids. Well, but I wasn't willing to risk the tails of that coin and Corbin falling in that fray. Exactly.
But my point was, they're going around, burning our flag really and just saying that they hate this country and everything.
That's it.
And they're being, they were, because I haven't really heard any more news about it, but they were being very dramatic, saying,
well, they're not doing it now because if you're out in the street burning burning the American flag or even waving a Mexican flag, the odds are you're gonna catch the wrong attention of the wrong crew. And like I said there again, that's my other flip of disagreement. Is I don't think that we need to be sending I don't think we need to be sending masked, unidentifiable, armed, militant teams of SWAT into the city streets.
No, absolutely.
And because that's not just a show for the brown man. Mm-hmm. That's not just a show for the guy you're looking for. I mean, even if you're doing it for a wanted felon, let's just say somebody's a wanted felon and they're hiding and they're on the manhunt. That manhunt is as much as a show of force for the public as it is for the guy that's out there being hunted. Yeah. Because the government wants you to understand you got to stay in line. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of those things where, there's a balance. There has to be a balance there. And guys, I know there's guys, some of y'all are watching live now, some of y'all watching on the app and stuff like that. Y'all let us know what your thoughts are. I mean, we'll start reading out comments during the show. That's sort of what I got right now. I'm afraid to sort of show you what Julio sent me from VZ. Where are we at? There we go.
Right here.
Well,
You can't see it.
Yeah, you can't really see it. Anyway, he sent me the check going, because I told him I had him, and But Julio's out there watching. But, literally, what are y'all's thoughts on this? Because I know a lot of people are sort of like me. They're
and with the whole immigration thing that we were talking about, like, the whole point of me, what I was saying about this is they're being so dramatic because they're saying that we're calling everyone, well, not we, just like our government is calling everyone illegal immigrants, and everyone who isn't American or a part of the American culture, which is really just like super diverse. But they're sitting there saying that the government is going around calling everyone illegal and that everyone needs to leave and all that stuff. And no, it is just the people
what's bad
who are here actually illegally.
Well, what's bad though is in their hold on, let me do this real quick.
But they're complaining about
and there is, and like I said, there is a certain measure of resources we need to monitor and stuff like that. I'm all about refining the process. What I think is bad is, okay, if you set your foundation at a slant and you start to build on that foundation, the higher up you go, the further away from the target you get. My mentality is this: maybe we've built this on a faulty foundation. Let's go all the way back down. And that's why I'm not opposed to what Trump is doing in a certain fashion, as in let's do a reset. Let's get as many people.
I'm not opposed to doing a reset either, because
if we get the violent ones out. Now I don't want, and I kind of like the self-deportation deal. I hope that it was a sort of like a couple times when you get arrested, you see people get arrested. It's one of these, I'm turning myself in, they walk in, they take their mugshot, they walk back out. I'm hoping it's sort of like that. If you voluntarily deported, we understand that you're doing this, you're trying to comply, and bam, you go out, and then it's not a long term, because some of these guys have jobs. They've got lives, they've got church fellowships and stuff like that. It's like ripping anybody out of their setting of comfort.
But it's not even like that. It's people who have already began to build on and I obviously I don't know what all you have to do to gain your citizenship if you're from somewhere else. I have no idea.
Well, I'm like this,
but I know it takes years.
I'm like this: if you can go back and you look at the judge of years, let's say they've been here 10 years. Some of them have got kids in college, so they've been here for 20 and 30.
And that's all fine.
And I say go back and look at their record while they're here. If you look at their record while they're here, you run their background check, you run it all the way back down to as far as you can track them, and they ain't got nothing on their record except for maybe a couple speeding tickets. Hey, dude, bam, here you go. Here's your rubber stamp for your green card. Let's proceed with life. Welcome to America.
And the whole reason we're doing it is because there's so many dangerous people coming over.
But if you got a feller there that has DWI after DWI after DWI. No, don't get me wrong. I know we got white folk out there. Look at me. That's why I use DWI as the example. I know there's guys out there like me that have more than those guys. But like I've always said, and I said it the other day when I call them the Democrats, when they were here. I told them the other day, I said, well, if I've got a problem, I'm going to focus on my own children before I worry about the neighbor's children. Now, if my neighbor's children want to come and play, once my kids behave and I get everything in line here, then I'll allow the neighbor's children to come in. And then at that point, the ones that are misbehaving, and I know it's not my kids because I've got my kids back to behaving, and they're the ones that are influenced by, then you're out. And so, like I said, if most of these people that are coming in, you can look at proof in the pudding, especially if they've been here more than a decade, raised a family. There's no reason for that person to self-deport and come back in and do anything. That person should go online, fill out a few cards, and say, and we should say, thank you.
Yeah.
Because you have been here even before you got the benefits, the complete benefits. I mean, oh, well, they get this and that, which I still don't believe, because 90% of the Mexicans I'm behind at the grocery store out here in rural America. I don't know about up in the Dallas, but out here, 90% of them pulling cash out and paying for it, because most of them are working cash jobs.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, that's neither here nor there. I lost about 15 Republican followers right there because, like I said, but I think I'm like I said, I'm all about having strong borders. Again, look how it worked out for the Indians.
Yeah.
So
but it's like, just like the thing that was like, when this was all happening, it was like, it was just very dramatic. You have, Americans who are all about like activism and la da 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 da, and they're sitting there complaining because these people who aren't supposed to be here, and it sounds like awful when you say that, but really they're not supposed to be here. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. Like, you could be white and from another country. If you're not supposed to be here, you're not supposed to be here.
And it should be applied across the board.
But they're calling it racism, and they're complaining that these people who are not allowed to be here and who don't have citizenship or don't have a visa or a green card are here illegally.
Yeah.
And then they're saying, oh, well, y'all are going to take everyone. No, it is just the people who are here illegally, and that is it. But they were dragging it out so much.
Yeah, Julio
for
said.
No reason.
Julio said, my mom's side, we have been here since Texas was Mexico, and my family on my dad's side did it legally. It's a difficult process, but there's
absolutely.
a proper way to do it. I understand those people who are coming here trying to have a better life by coming here, but you got to do it the right way. And he put that in all caps.
Absolutely.
And I'm all about that. And I want to make it to where the right way is available to the guy.
Easier.
Well, what I say is, okay, if somebody's coming from a village that has dirty running water, cartel is raping the children and the wives and stuff like that, they're legitimately trying to escape something like that. I don't want a dollar amount to be what holds them, because if they had that dollar amount, they could probably bribe the cartel to leave them alone and live a pretty good life over there. So that kind of guy, I'm all about, so I want the right way, as Julio says here, to be a way that is a path of least resistance. I don't want somebody coming over here with no money in their pocket and us telling them we need $1, because I want them to be able to flee that oppression, and so, like I said, and it is a difficult one, and it's a difficult, not only is it a difficult process, but it's also a difficult topic, because human nature is to migrate to the better place. You look at businesses, they do it all the time. New York, California puts in really stringent corporate laws or taxes and stuff like that. There is an exodus of those people coming to Texas and places that have those less stringent taxes. So man, at his core nation, is a migrant creature. I mean, look, the Jews, Israel in the desert 40 years. They migrated 40 years. We're a migratory bunch.
My family, they moved. Actually, their grandpa I was telling you about, he moved from Spain to Mexico to California. Yeah. And then I have a great-great-grandma. She moved from Texas to California, and then my Nana moved back to Texas.
So my policy is this, and like I said, I don't know, it may be too simplistic. Make it so bad on the ones that come here and commit crimes that the migratory habits will be to get away from America. The good people will come to America because it is so daggum safe. Yeah. And the people that want to do bad and do all that stuff will stay in other parts of the world, because the migratory tendency is to go to somewhere you're going to benefit more than you were in the past.
And you're going to be safer and all that stuff. It's not like we still have issues and all that, but it is relatively like better than most countries, almost all countries.
Well, anyway, a couple of announcements. I think that was a good conversation. Thank you, Julio, for tuning in and commenting on that. Corbin, I sent you the one. we're gonna tweak it up a little bit. We're gonna make it the ad that Julio sent me. But we've got that. We probably can't get it in the show today because it's already kicked off. But what I
went to go correct it, and we dropped a handful of frames, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah, we'll just do it after the show.
Yeah, so let's not do that. But what I will say is, Julio told me to put this out there. So let me get back over to our conversation. And the telephone number is 903-376-5818. Again, that is 903-376-5818. And you can't miss it when you come out of 17 in Canton and you hit 64. There they are. VZ Rentals right there. Oop, there we go. Wrong way. There we go. There they are right there. Anyway, when you get to into 17 right there, it'll T at 64. If you run straight through that stop sign, you go right into the bay door. You'll see all the heavy equipment there. Julio is the man to see and the number one fan of VZTV. He's always advocated for us for support. So we thank you, Julio, for being a part of it. And he told me to tell everybody if you can. He told me to mention if you say VZTV, you get 15% discount on any rental. So if you need a backhoe, if you need a trencher, if you need a track hoe, I mean, he's got it out there. If you need one of them little lifts, bucket lifts that go up there and trim a tree limb or whatever, tell them VZTV sent you. I mean, we start talking 15% of what it costs to rent some of this equipment for a weekend. You're talking about pretty good savings. Thank you, Julio, for throwing that deal out there. Again, I'm going to say it one time. I'm going to say it really slow for the people in the back. 15% off if you say VZTV. Okay? Call Julio today, 903-376-5818. Thank you, Julio and VZ Equipment Rentals. Boy, I tell you what, that one right there is going to get my dyslexia going. VZTV and VZ Equipment Rentals, but it was made as a partnership made in branding. All righty. Thank you, Julio, for being a part of the show, my man. All righty. I guess it's about time to throw it over to Corbin. Did you say you had some sports, Bubba? Well, go ahead and do that because I just like to hear your jingle.
And that one, that CB that got arrested.
Sports on VZTV.
We ain't got much news, but it is at least still something. Terrion Arnold has been arrested for kidnap and robbery and has been cut from the Detroit Lions. Sorry. And then if we go right here, we got the Texas Rangers, 5 wins in a row. They're going to play Cleveland twice and Detroit 3 times here in the next week. We go to overall scores. We got White Sox beat the Orioles 8-2. Pirates beat Phillies 11-7. The Rangers obviously win against Guardians. Easy. Tigers beat the Yankees 7-3. That's pretty big. Low scoring game here. We got Marlins beating the Rockies 10-7. Astros lost. Sorry, Katie. But the good news is the Cubs won, so that's pretty big. Dodgers.
Did we lose to the Twins?
Yep.
Oh, good Lord.
It kind of sums up the Astros year.
Caddy Paul, you can officially make fun of me.
The Dodgers beat the Athletics 9-4, and then Diamondbacks won by 1 point. And then we'll go up to the World Cup schedule.
I have it.
Yeah, Norway plays today at 12, which is that's Erling Haaland's team. That's a big team to watch for. We got France versus Sweden. France is Mbappe's team. That's gonna be a good one. Mexico's also a favorite.
Playing against Ecuador.
Yeah, England's a big one. United States is playing Wednesday for the Cups. Argentina plays Friday, which is Messi's team, and Portugal plays Thursday, which that's Ronaldo's team. Those are kind of the big teams that's going out right now, but I'll let you kind of get a look.
Colombia and Ghana play on Friday at 8:30.
Yep. So I'm going to flip over to gas prices, and we'll scroll a little bit before we go to the weather.
All righty, here we are with the weather. And as you can tell, it's summertime, guys. That's just all there is to it. There is no more green. We are going to be in the red right over here, or the yellow. We got some red up trying to bleed in around Grand Saline and Fruitvale over there. Right up the 80 corridor, 86, 87, 89, 89, 90. It does drop a little bit as you go out further east, but Corbin fixing I feel like I was bouncing around there. But anyway, as you can see, it looks like the winds are coming in from the south, making their way up through the area. Let's see, what do we got? Our radar is just clear. I mean, there's really nothing to look at. I don't know that there's a chance of rain at all today. I didn't think there was. I missed the weather this morning on the news. I try to watch the weather so I don't sound so uneducated when I'm here. But anyway, as you can tell, the wind's blowing up about 11 miles an hour at the highest. I don't see anything really higher than that on there, blowing in from the south. And our dew point is going to be at it's going to be about 64%. Miss Katie's over there trying to tear up all of our stuff on our studio like a bull in a china closet. And our pollen is going to be we getting lighter and lighter green as we go. So it depends on what makes you go at you as to what you're going to be looking at. But the wind coming in from the south about 11 miles per hour is going to keep you, like I said, sniffling and sneezing if you have any sort of sensitivities to pollen or anything like that. So let's look at our forecast. Here we go. As you can see, for the rest of the week, we're going to hover right around 95, 96 with Friday being our highest. Yesterday set the week record right there at 98, and the low is going to be 75 for this evening. The rest of the week going to be 77, 76 on your average. 78 is going to be on your Friday low. And let's hit the feels like temperatures there, Bubba. Oh, there it is. Okay, feels like it's going to be 102 today. So anyway, as I always say, me and my beautiful wife say, if the feels like is 92, it's going to be 90. If it feels like 102, then it is 102. And so anyway, 0% chance of rain, as you can see right there. So y'all just be sure hydrate again. Bring your animals inside. Be sure they have plenty of water. If you have a delivery guy coming, postman, give them a bottle of water. We don't want to read any stories about anybody falling. If you have elderly folk out there or the less fortunate that you know may not have the proper utilities to cool down and stay at a safe level of temperature, then y'all be sure and check on them. Be sure that they are taken care of. There are fan drives all over the place. I know my wife and her company just got done doing some fan drives over at New Life Home Health over there. So like I said, there are fan drives out there. I know they're going to have one coming up. We'll probably push that. Y'all be sure to take care of the elderly, less fortunate, and your pets. Anyway, this looking into next week, 95. Looks like we do have a couple of dips down to 92. We call that a cold front here in Texas. And the low for next week's going to be about that 74 on Sunday. So anyway, we're going to go back over there, and we're going to do something a little bit different today. Since we had that interview yesterday press conference with Governor Greg Abbott. Can you put something up, the video up on that, Bubba, so we're not looking at the weather?
It's not up here behind you.
Oh, it won't be here behind me. Okay, but anyway, as you can see, there was a big crowd there from yesterday. They were all trying to greet the Senator Brent Money. You can actually see right there the bald gentleman right there with his cell phone up. That is he's on the ticket for Department of Education, and that's Cason Holson. He's going to be coming in. Anyway, it was a big deal, and I'm going to make my way over to the other side of the set. So y'all. Just hold on for a second, I guess. Talk, Katie, talk. Or not.
What?
Talk,
I
Katie,
was
talk.
reading an article.
Is it talk, Katie, talk. Or not.
I'm trying
Anyway.
to see if this is worth it.
All right. There we go. We're back. All right,
Sorry.
now throw up the video and you of it. Okay, you can back it up a little bit so I can talk over some of what you see going on right here. Yesterday at a Choa's Mexican food restaurant, they're in Canton. It's right across from the courthouse. They sponsored the event, I guess. They fed us, so I want to thank you can turn that down though.
And let's do it.
Anyway, they fed us yesterday, and I want to give a big shout out to Choa's. Thank you so much for the hospitality. I think the event went really good. It was crowded. It was packed. I mean, elbow to elbow. There were people that were lined up outside all the way around the corner. And I did hear that if they wanted to go in after the event, they were able to. This is my attempt to lift in the tripod and everything. I look sort of goofy, probably. There he is. But they were not turned to. They weren't allowed inside. There wasn't enough room inside. And Corbin, you can go ahead and pause it right about there. They weren't allowed inside because of the fire code and stuff like that, safety and all that, because it was packed. I mean, I'm sure the fire marshal.
Yeah, there is an occupation limit for every public
and I'm sure the
building.
fire marshal, Mr. Kevin Palmer, who I also talked to, is going to be on the show anyway. I'm sure they were watching the event. Plus, Governor Abbott had the staff and security with him. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so the event was packed, as you can tell from that site right there. But he was in Canton talking about property tax, which is a hot ticket topic. So what we're going to do is, what's going to happen today is we're going to allow you to watch the whole press conference here uninterrupted all the way through to the end. And that's what going to be our second segment of the day, is so y'all can watch that and hear what Bob Hall, which is a District 2 senator all the way over there on the far right. You have Brent Money sit there between him and Mr. Abbott, Governor Abbott in the middle, and then there are a couple other ladies that'll introduce themselves. But they are pushing for property tax reform. And that was the topic of the day. So we're going to let y'all watch this, and then we'll come back. But I want to announce that I just, before the show came on, I talked to Mr. Keenan Colbert, which is the Democratic candidate for Bob Hall's seat, District 2. And so he's going to come in tomorrow. I mean, talk about making yourself available. He made it clear that he was here anytime we needed him. And I reached out and I said, hey, I like this opportunity. So what I've got planned for him is he's going to watch it tomorrow, and he's going to break it down from a Democratic standpoint, uninterrupted by any Republicans in the room. But then what we're going to do is we're going to circle back around to next week, and I'm trying to work something up. I'm going to try to get a Republican. I'm hoping, and James Cooley, if you're watching this, I'm calling you out, buddy. But I'd like to get a Republican of some sort that has an opinion on what Mr. Abbott said. Oh, who is hold on a second. Watch this. Hey, sir, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. You're on the air right now. You called right in the middle of the show. That's the dice you roll when you call in the middle of the show.
No, I hope not.
Well, you are. You're on speakerphone right there in front of the mic. Say hi to the viewers.
Hello.
Anyway, hey, let me give you a call back after the show, man.
Okay.
All right, have a good one, bud. I had to pull that on him. He said, "No."
Who was that?
Brandon Barton. I'm trying to get him on. I'm trying to get him on the show because his CAD announcement that he is proposing. I want to see how it plays in line with this property tax proposal that he's that's being proposed here. So these are some of the things, because that CAD relies on sales tax that comes out of I guess you would say rural convenience stores and businesses that are outside city limits and stuff like that. And so now that Abbott's come out and spoken on this, I was going to get Barton in here and seeing how it might align or where, what that plays like with his proposal. And so he was just returning my call. He is a busy man, and so that was probably the first moment I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so that was my fault.
Shame on you.
Of course, there's so much shame to go around. But anyway, so back to yesterday. But one thing I did hear, I hope it's true. It did look to be true. I was told that everybody that wanted a picture with Governor Abbott, even if they didn't make it inside, if they were in a line on the outside, they were able to come in after it was over with and he ran through. I don't know how many people stayed. I don't know if that's true. Me personally, I had been there. I had set up. And so what's the on count up to now, Corbin?
I think 5 or 6.
That's what I was thinking. I know I've seen 3 myself.
3.
And, we'll have to replay.
Now, if we're going from this earlier, you'd be at like 15.
Hey, the good thing about it is it's archived. We got it. We could go back and have a yawn count tomorrow. We'll have an official.
3.
So anyway, what we had, but it was a good event. I will say that I didn't even know that they were feeding everybody, and I went to turn around and go out, and I bumped into Gavin Whitaker and his crew with the young Republicans over there, and he said, "Did you eat yet?" And I'm like, no, I didn't even know there was food over. So I sat down and and like I said, I had a good meal, and I appreciate their hospitality there. I appreciate the staff that worked with Governor Abbott's team for allowing me the liberties to set up in video. And I thank Governor Abbott for answering my question that I asked in the end. For those of you that didn't get to hear what I asked him, he had proposed this property tax reform. And my question was simple, and many of you asked it in the comments, is, you've been this isn't your first term in office. So, why now, and what have you done up to this point to tackle this issue? And so he explains that there at the end. But what we're going to do is we're not going to talk over that. What, you got something to say?
No, he's over there trying to make me yawn.
Oh.
Okay, keep talking.
All right, let's wait. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Nope.
Wait for it.
Talk on your show. This is a show. This isn't make fun of Katie.
Well, yeah, it is really, it's not really make fun. The last thing we want to do is make our audience yawn. I mean, that's like literally asking for boring ratings. So it's not really.
So shame on both of you.
Well, again, that's not the first time in this show has been said. But anyway, as it's right around 11 o'clock, let's roll into this and let's listen to the governor of the state of Texas.
All right, welcome everybody. With the Democrat socialism on the march in Texas, no one is better poised to defend Texas liberty than our Texas governor.
I'm sorry about the volume. I wasn't allowed to have mics on the table, so I had to place them the best I could.
Governor Abbott fixed the broken bail system. He delivered the nation's largest day one school choice program and signed revolutionary career training programs into law to help Texas join the workforce of the future. And under his leadership, Texas is the best state for business in America, posting historic highs for Texas working. In fact, our almost $3 trillion economy would make us the 8th largest in the world if we were a separate nation. Investment and ingenuity are alive in Texas because Governor Abbott has fostered freedom and opportunity that can be found nowhere else. Now he has proposed a property tax plan that will curtail out-of-control local government spending and put control of property taxes where it belongs, with the taxpayers. In this election, we face a choice between common sense conservatism and communist chaos, with our governor leading the fight to keep Texas, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to introduce my friend and Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott.
Hello, I'm State Representative Brett Money, and this is my district. Thank you all for coming out here. One of my very first campaign meetings was about right here where these wonderful people are standing. And throughout my campaign, the thing that people wanted to talk about the most was property taxes. How many people in here do not like property taxes? Property taxes, as I've said over and over again, it's an immoral way to fund the government. And I think Calvin Coolidge, our good president from early in the 20th century, said that collecting more taxes than is absolutely necessary is legalized robbery. And so when Governor Abbott, who has long talked about the need to curtail our property tax explosion, and the legislature has put a lot of money toward it, but when he came out with this plan earlier this year, it's the first time I've been really excited that the state of Texas is really going to do something meaningful about property taxes. And it starts with number one, require common sense local spending limits. Who's in favor of that? Yeah. Almost everybody doesn't like property taxes, but very few people pay close enough attention to what's going on in the local, in their local governments. And they're going to spend as much as we as the people let them spend. And so I'm excited to have Governor Abbott's leadership on this. Also, and he'll talk more about this, but some real reform to the appraisal system, which is going to make our lives a lot easier on businesses as they plan, easier on just our household budgets as we know how much property taxes we're going to have to pay. And then finally, how about eliminating property taxes for school districts? School district M&O property taxes. That covers about 40 to 60%, depending on where you live, of all of your property taxes go to school maintenance and operations. So how about the state uses some of the money we collect from you through sales tax and takes care of that? So when I saw those tenets of this program, I thought this is something I could really get behind. I'm excited to be sitting here with the governor, and I would like for you to welcome to Canton, Texas, the governor of the great state of Texas, Greg Abbott.
Thank you to Brent Money for the kind introduction, and thank him for his service to you right here in Van Zandt County, and also thank you to Senator Hall. It's great to be back in the districts of both of you. Great to be back in an area not too far from where I spent most of my childhood growing up, over in Longview, Texas. Yeah. No more beautiful place in Texas than the piney woods and the green fields of beautiful East Texas. Always proud to be back. And I'm also joined up here by Genevieve Collins, who's going to speak after myself. I do want to start out with both something that I'm happy about, but also regretful of. I'm happy that so many people have turned out for this. I regret that some people were not allowed in. And I wanted to make sure that everybody who wanted to get in could not get in. Kind of as a lesson learned, we need a bigger location next time to make sure everybody's going to be able to get in. That said, I want to talk to you exactly about what Brent Money and Senator Hall were talking about. Listen, one thing we know for a fact, and that is your property taxes are too high, and we got to do something about it. So let me tell you what we have done, and then what we got to do. Let me put this in context for you. Everybody here who pays property taxes, you know that when you get your property tax bill, there's going to be a certain amount of the valuation of your home that is exempt from the school district property tax. When I was first elected governor, the exemption of your homestead, where you did not have to pay a school district property tax, was $15,000. When you look at what we've done the past few sessions in Austin, Texas, session after session after session, we've increased your homestead exemption so that now it is $140,000 of the value of your home as exempt from paying school district property taxes in Texas. Well, you're exactly right, and that's why I'm here today, because here's the fact. Many of you applauded the increase in the homestead exemption, but I got to tell you this. None of you, nor anybody else in the entire state of Texas, has come up to me and said, hey, Governor, I'm perfectly happy with my property tax bill. Because you're not. And what I'm talking about today are solutions that will make your property tax bill go down forever and make it affordable for you to live in your home for the rest of your lives. Four things. We're going to do all four of these. One, exactly like what Brent Money and I think Senator Hall talked about. Listen, there are several things that cause property taxes to go up in the first place. One is increased spending by authorities that impose a property tax. We have to constrain and to restrict any spending increase by any entity that imposes a property tax. Understand this. We would never ask of anybody something we're not willing to do ourselves. The state of Texas has 4 spending limits. Every property tax in jurisdiction, they should have these exact same 4 spending limits and live within their means like the state has to, like you as families in Texas have to live within your means. You cannot raise your property, you cannot increase your spending and increase property taxes unless you live within the spending limits the state has to live within. Number 2, your property taxes should never go up without you having a say in the matter. There must be a vote on any attempt to increase your property taxes and require a 2/3 vote margin for ever there to be a property tax increase. Number 3, your appraisals are going through the roof, right? As one reason why your property taxes are going up so much. We got to change it. Here's the deal. Under Texas law right now, your appraisals can increase 10% a year. And you can see year after year after year how that would price you out of your home. We have to end that, and we must reduce that property tax appraisal increase from 10% a year to no more than just 3% a year. I tell you what, if we can get you to vote for, there you go. Well, here's the last thing. The last thing is this. The last thing alone is going to cut your property tax bill by more than half, and that goes back to using your homestead to pay for public schools. There's no reason why your homestead should be paying for public education. The state should fund public education, not your homestead. And what my plan does, it eliminates using your homestead to fund public education. The amount that you would pay in your property tax bill for school districts is $0. That would be forever. Would not matter how much your property value increases over the years. The amount you pay for your local school district, which is about half of your property tax bill, will forever remain $0. This will ensure that everybody's going to be able to afford to live in their own home. And let me bring in another topic while I talk about this to give you the context of what's going on. One thing you all know that I'm doing, Texas is the only state in American history to build our own border wall. Let me tell you about something, and that is when we get my property tax plan passed, Texas is going to become the most affordable state in the United States. And you know what happens? You know what happens after that, right? They're going to be moving in from everywhere, from California, from New York, from Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico, from all over the place. So when we pass my property tax plan, I will stop building the border wall on our southern border. We will start building a border wall on our northern border, our eastern border, and our western border. Get those real foreigners out of here. But to tell you more about this and what we're going to be doing working together between now and Election Day, and then after Election Day, what we're going to be doing during the next session is Genevieve Collins.
Thank you, Governor. Well, I'm excited about the wall to the north. So my name's Genevieve Collins. I'm I run Americans for Prosperity here in the state of Texas. It's the largest grassroots and policy organization in the state. So what does that mean? It means that we talk to normal people every day about the issues they are facing. And in order of magnitude, property property taxes are by far every Texan, regardless of your party. Property taxes are the #1 issue facing every Texan. And Governor Abbott's leadership on this means he's not just listening, he's going to do something about it. What we've seen in the legislature, previously is that money has been coming towards us in relief for homestead dollars, and we're getting that relief. But that relief isn't being realized, and relief is temporary. It's time that we get reform, because reform is permanent. This plan is creating permanent structural changes to ensure that the taxpayer is put first. Because we know that our local governments, many of them are doing great things. But I live in a place where that may not always be the case. If you see on this board over here, on the other side of this 5-point pledge, there's a QR code. This is going to take you to the Texas Bond Review Board. This is where you can see how much is your local government, your utility district, school board, county commissioner, how much are you being paid? How much are you paying to pay taxes to fund things all across your community? Well, Texas has now created a very transparent way for you to see what you're being taxed on and for you to be able to have a voice to make a difference. Please be empowered and be educated, because y'all, we are fixing to come on the eve of America's 250th birthday. We are a nation that started off saying we are not going to be taxed like crazy. And it's important as every citizen that you remember your power to take back the purse and to use your votes to know what you're being paid, what you're being taxed for, but to know that you have a difference that you can make. We're going to tour the state alongside the governor. Please make sure your voice is heard. You can sign a letter through that QR code. You can sign a letter. It will send a letter from you directly to your state representatives saying you support this plan. We need to get it done. Texans are tired of being overtaxed.
Thank you, Genevieve. We also have with us here today a state representative from over near the Dallas area, Carissa Richardson. Carissa, why don't you go ahead?
Thank you, Governor. I appreciate it. Y'all have a beautiful city here. So glad to be here and support the governor. I've signed on to this tax plan from the beginning. We did a poll in our district, and again, just like Genevieve said, #1 district, #1 issue is property tax. We cannot sustain this, and I'm so proud of the governor for taking a strong stand and doing this for the citizens of Texas, for our children, our grandchildren, our future. Thank you, and God bless you, Governor.
You got it. So a couple of other things here real quick. First, I want to publicly sign in front of everybody here my property tax plan. I'm going to put my signature on it, and then I'm going to put my action behind it this next session.
Did you get this passed?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Is it going to be on the ballot in November?
He's going to be on the ballot in November. If you vote for him, we'll get it done.
Here's the deal. So, very important question. What's on the ballot this November? Make clear, property taxes on the ballot this November. Everybody here has a voice and a vote. And you can make sure by asking your state representative and your senator whether they support this plan. The way to get this passed is making sure you hold accountable your state representative and your state senator. I can tell you this, I've crisscrossed the state. As Carissa Richardson said right here, as Brent Money said right here. I know I already have enough votes in the Texas House of Representatives to get this plan passed. We got to get it across the finish line and get it delivered for you. Now let me tell you this. You guys have been a great crowd. I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to take a few questions from the media. But then after the media, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to take a picture with everybody who wants a picture. Come up to me, shake my hand, take a picture, tell me what you want to tell me, and I'll stick around here. But before I do that, just real quick, let me take a few questions from the press, and then I'll talk to you guys individually. Go ahead.
Art Flight, VZTV. You're saying this now, your name's on the ballot in November, just like it was brought up a while ago. They can vote you in or out. You've been in office for more than one term. What have you done to fulfill this mission of that
that that we don't know about, or why is it just now that we're hearing about it now? So beginning in 2015, we passed law after law after law. In fact, even constitutional amendment after constitutional amendment, increasing the homestead exemption. When I first became governor, the homestead exemption on your homestead property tax bill was $15,000. We increased it now to $140,000, as well as $200,000 for seniors. In addition to that, in 2019, we passed what's called property tax compression, which compresses property taxes not just for homesteads, but also for businesses, as well as others in the state of Texas. Here's my point. Session after session after session, we have addressed property taxes. However, we haven't been able to deliver relief, lasting relief, in part because of inflation, because of home values going up. My point here today is this. We cannot go back to Austin, Texas, and do the same thing we've been doing over and over and over again and expect a different result. This provides a different result that will provide lasting property release going forward. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
All righty. The follow-up questions from the other reporters. There was only one other reporter. He asked 2 questions because the other ones in the pool were shy. Anyway, they were about data centers, which is a whole nother topic. The premise of this, reason why I stuck on topic, is because it was about property tax. Property tax is something that affects every single one of us. And so, anyway, as I was saying before we went to the video, we're gonna be watching this, and we're gonna be talking property taxes quite a bit, because not only is this something that we all have to endure if we're property owners, but it's a topic that, like, I called Brandon back while we were off the air, and he was talking about, people griping about, taxes here in Texas. Go out there, to other countries. I say other countries. Heck, you pay California gas prices. It almost feels like another country, or Oregon gas prices, or, you get up into some of these other states where the gas prices run, I imagine it's $5-6 by now. And so, you get up around some of those. We spent summer running RV trailers to make some money, and we would literally limp it past the desert because we wanted to get to Nevada to try to get a little bit of gas relief. So anyway, as we talk about the property tax, nobody likes to pay a tax on their property that they've had their whole lives. Like I said, it could be in a family for generations. Nobody wants to pay that, but we also got to play. There's other infrastructure issues that we got to think about, and how do we actually, and that's my thing. We need to really look at how we take care of business, how we still remain a superpower in this on this planet. If we take property taxes away, or if we start cutting, Texas, the greatest state in the union, in my opinion, but we got to take care of our business here. So we're going to continue to have the property tax conversation, all aspects, all sides of it. Katie, did you have something you wanted to throw in here?
Not at the moment. I am looking.
Okay. Okay.
I have some big news, breaking news, as of 7 minutes ago. LeBron has stated he is not continuing his path with the Lakers, and is very, very possible that he's going to continue, or going to sign with the Golden State Warriors with Stephen Curry.
Really?
Yes.
As of, you heard it here on VZTV, baby.
He just stated, he openly stated.
What happened? I thought his baby LeBron was on there.
Well, he became a free agent, and it's pretty clear that the Lakers are not going to be able to get him back without trading some people. So, but he openly stated that to the Lakers that they can freely move on without him, because he's going to be continuing his NBA career somewhere else.
Well, and I wonder how much of Doncic coming over to the Lakers. Because before Doncic got there, LeBron was pretty much, he was the guy that that took it all.
Well, what Lakers are going to do, LeBron was a big part of their salary cap. They're going to try to focus on younger players and try to rebuild from there, because obviously LeBron was a key factor into their offense, but they're going to get like 3 or 4 people out of that because the cap space is going to be gone.
Well, now that the Mavericks have come in and done all of this house cleaning of the staff that got rid of Luka, I'm wondering if the Mavericks don't start trying to make a little move, trying to get Luka to change back to.
So
Mavericks.
KD, Kevin Durant, that just signed with the Mavs. I think it's Kevin Durant, but it's very possible because the Golden State Warriors are trying to get somebody to match up with Curry before he retires. So it's either going to be KD and LeBron, because LeBron already openly stated he wants to play with KD again. And so it's very, very possible that they're two going to come to the Warriors, but the Warriors are going to have to give up a lot of stuff for that.
Oh, yeah. Well, anytime you have a powerhouse duo like that, you're going to have some sort of skin in the game. So anyway, to refresh everybody's memory, we have got Keenan Colbert, Democrat candidate for Senate spot District 2, opposing Bob Hall in November. He is going to be on the show tomorrow. We're going to watch Governor Abbott's little press conference here. And what we want to do is like I said, I want to break it down and I want to hear everybody's perspective on it. So we're going to have him on it tomorrow, and we're just going to let him address it as it goes. We saw his opponent at the table with Governor Abbott yesterday, so I thought it would be really good to bring him in here and just see what he had to say about that. And as well as next week, I'm going to try and work it to where we have at least one person that is that votes Republican or on a Republican ticket, and we're going to have a voter and I say a disgruntled taxpayer, because he's tired of his property taxes. Every year he is very vocal about it. I know the man personally. He's very informed. So we're going to bring him in here, and I'm going to tell you this. Keenan Colbert's the one that said, I want to sit down and talk with the guy. He said a first time candidate and a disgruntled voter sounded like a good conversation. So I'm going to make some phone calls afterwards and see if we can't get that happening. And I'm hoping to get somebody on there. Like I said, I'm giving a shout out to James Cooley right now. See if he might be interested in coming on the show. I will make that call too afterwards and see if we can get him on there. All these men are busy, so I'm not going to throw shade if they can't make it. Every one of them have got their lives. They're running to do important things, and of course, all we do is sit here and talk about what they do. So we're not gonna throw shade if they can't make it. But I do know Keenan Colbert will be here tomorrow, and we want to thank Keenan for replying to my phone call from this morning. This all sort of happened within the last 12 hours. And so, well, Katie, if you ain't got nothing else, I mean, we don't have nothing on the other side of this. What we could do is we could do one more run through the weather and gas prices, and then we'll call it a day, and we'll get ready to prepare for tomorrow. Does that sound good to you, Katie?
Yep.
Yep. She's ready for her nap. She was up all night long. So, but anyway, so I'm going to throw the gas prices up there so I can make the transition over to the weather center. And then we'll, like I said, we'll close out with the weather. Oh, yeah. Food specials. Oh, throw me back. Oh, my bad. Shame on me again.
Lunch specials. You almost missed
Guys,
it.
to do that. I need to get me one of them. When I go to the grocery store, what is my favorite thing? I tell y'all, send me a text, send me a list. Mm-hmm. My wife has a grocery list. Love you, babe. And every time I go by, I sit there and check, make sure that's what I need to do here so I can start checking. Anyway, Trax, General Store and Mercantile, scratch cooking. This week's special is chicken Endoville etouffee. Say that one 15 times with a dyslexic tongue. But I'm just going to tell you right now, if the two salty bras put it on a plate, I'm going to eat it and tell you it's good because I know it is. It's scratch cooking every time we go out. My wife says it doesn't feel like we're going out to eat. We're going over somebody's place to eat. 100 North Main Street, Grand Saline, Texas. They have the dirty sodas, and it looks like they're offering pup cups now. So it says, "Are you hot?" Go visit the Two Salty Broads. As I say every time, when you're coming in from Van, just look right over to your right. You'll see the mural on the wall. It's got a nice little boutique inside where you can go in, buy some knickknacks. I've actually got a little thing that I bought for the set. Unfortunately, the set has changed so many that it's still sitting at the house waiting to be used. But it says, "Bless your heart," and that's just what I guess that's my motto for my life. Everybody always told me, "Bless my heart." Also, let's flip over to Grand Slice. To me, my favorite pizza in Grand Saline. If y'all go down there, check them out. 2 large 1 topping specials for $20. Dollar bill, yo. Hard to feed a family of 4 for $20 anymore, and you can do that right there in Grand Saline between the Brookshires and the Family Dollar. So go check out Grand Slice down there. Get you a couple 1 toppings for $20, or get you a fully loaded and enjoy it. But Grand Slice right there in Grand Saline. Go check them out. Now, have I missed anything?
I don't believe so. Tristan and Coleman are playing again at Salt Lickers on the 11th. From, is it 6 to 9? All right, 6 to 9 p.m. July 11th at Salt Lickers, right across from Wicks and Wimby. So go grab you a candle and then go hear those 2 young fellas play.
And I'm going to tell you this, go out and support these young artists, because, you know, they put a lot of work and time into going out there, and it's a talent I wish I could so utilize. I don't have it. VZ Equipment Rental. There's my boy Julio again. Mr. Gibson right there in the middle. That man right there. We wouldn't be here without him. Thank you so much. Anyway, guys, if you see their ad right here, Sherman Floor Care, Warner Services, these guys, big time hitters here on the show. Thank you, guys. There's Dry Creek Ag Services, Casey Jordan down there on the bottom. Thank you. Y'all be sure, take your time, shop with them. Tell them thank you. Pet Guy Central, I'm trying to get him on the show. Canton Carpets, Jeff and Brandon over there. Leah with Hometown Embroidery. Thank you guys so much for always being on the show. Thank you also, Wallace and Murray, for insurance, for being on the show. Wills Point Ford. Smoke and Vape over there in Canton, right off 19. Y'all just past the Dairy Bar. Check them out. Get grants. Magic Memories Photography, Wills Point Chevrolet. You can get a new car right here. Shopping local. National brands. Glow House, go get your smile on. Go get you a little pow down there at Bobby Foster's. Big shots. Of course, you done heard about the Grand Slice lunch specials. Bearded Barber, Brightway. Y'all go check out the Thurston Group over there. Go check out the Goosehead Insurance Group. Howard Bell, thank you for jumping on. An old coach. He has a big Christmas thing. I want to thank the Ink Insurgency there in Wills Point, Chad the Mechanic, and Superior Glass Mirror. Thank you, Patrick, for being a part of the show. And we're going to thank Lynn Bill and Michael Lowe. Low Insurance, Lynn Bill, Trash Patrol USA. These guys come on. They help us out. We couldn't do what we do. Smith Auto Sales. There's Tracy and Aaron there at Clothesline Laundry. Elliott Law Firm, the official law firm of VZTV. Then, of course, there's Trax, C&K. That's them 2 over there. If you want a commercial made, if you want some sort of ad made. And then there's Norma down there, the official realtor of VZTV. All right, we made our gamut on the folks that are on the show, guys. We thank you so much for the people that are on here. We want to say we'll be back tomorrow. Keenan Colbert will be here. Let me show y'all some gas prices while I get over there. We'll take one more look at the 7-day forecast, because really the rest of it's not really going to change much. So we'll look at the forecast, and then we'll let y'all go about your daily business. Now, I want to say this, bragging point. We have finally reached 20 hours of viewing material on VZTV without repeat. For a lot of you guys that don't know, we started this, and I told, and you can ask these 2 over here, I've been saying content. We had to get the content. We were shooting sports, we were doing debates, and we were doing 1 show a week or whatever. And a lot of the times you got a lot of repeat on the content that was on there. We had the local ads. It was all good and dandy, but it was content that if you saw it once, you didn't really want to see it. And there's really just a little bit of content on there. Last night, as we were uploading the news shows and the press conference from Governor Abbott. We reached 20 hours of straight content. Most of it's going to be our daily show. So if you missed one, you want to turn on. But now's the time. If you own a restaurant, if you own a boutique or something like that, a bar, a grill, if you have a TV on the wall, put VZTV on one of your televisions. That's all I ask. Right now, that is a big support. Put VZTV on one of your TVs on the wall. That will help us out more than you know, because people get familiar with what we're doing. They get to shop at advertisers that are here local. Every one of these folks that you see over here on the side, all local businesses. That is your neighbors that are trying to make a living. And they are competing against Walmarts and Amazons and the big daddies. So y'all be sure and remember that when you come out here and you start seeing these supports. Go in and say VZTV, just like VZ Equipment Rentals. VZTV, you tell them, you get 15% off of your equipment rental. Think about that. You go out there, you do 100. Well, I've got a honeydew list this long. You go out there, you get 15% off and get that good old honeydew kiss, and she'll give you 100% of that honeydew kiss, even though you got 15% off the tab. So anyway, guys, I've mumbled and jumbled and bumbled long enough. I want to throw it over. Did you have anything, Katie, you want to throw in there? You keep holding that microphone in your mouth.
No, I do not. I'm just holding it here.
It has become our comfort source. I like my microphone.
Emotional support.
It is my emotional support microphone. All right, guys. Corbin, take us over to the gas prices. Give us some gas and some jazz, baby, and I'll meet y'all in the Weather Center. Oh, we didn't do the intro. I was waiting for the VZTV weather. Ding! I did that on purpose. I thought it was cool. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up. As you can tell, it's just going to be hot. The VZTV corridor. Van Zandt County corridor, you're going to have it right around your 89, 87, 90s. So it's going to be hot. 92 over there in Grand Saline, Texas. So y'all be sure, put on your sunscreen, drink a lot of water, take care of your, water your plants, but check on your elders and your less fortunate, and take care of your pets. Let's flip over to the 7-day forecast. As you can tell, wind's coming in from the north. Right, here we go. This is what we're going to look at. As you can see, throughout the day, our high is going to get here about 5 o'clock. Looks like, and it feels like it's going to be right around the 102 range. 94 going to be our peak today. And so for the rest of the week, we got a low tonight for 75, and that's going to, tomorrow is 74 is going to be our low. And for the rest of the week, it looks like Wednesday and Saturday going to be our heavy hitters. Yesterday was our high for the week. And so anyway, as y'all have activities, the 4th of July is coming up. Y'all be sure to get hydrated. And if you're out and about on this weekend, do not drink and drive, guys. I'm just going to say that right now. Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber, call a friend, call a family member, walk. I don't care. Don't walk, because you'll walk into traffic. Just get home safe. But y'all celebrate the 4th of July safely, and remember what we're here for. Remember why we're here. And guys, this is 250 years. We wouldn't have made it 2 years if it hadn't been for the soldier putting the feet on the battlefield. So we are here at 250 years. That's a whole lot of soldiers. That's a whole lot of heroes. We want to thank them so much for us being able to be here and do this. So as we work our way towards the 4th of July weekend, guys, y'all just be weather aware. That doesn't always talk for tornadoes and stuff like that. You go out there and get heat stroke just the same. Let's flip over and see what we're looking at for next week. Next week, it looks like we're going to be more of the same. We're going to rock around next Wednesday around 98, 97 on Thursday. So, like I said, temperatures just going to be going up. We're breaking into July. So, we know until the other side of August, we're not even going to get any relief at all. No rain. It doesn't look like in any forecast. So, guys, y'all be sure to be careful with your burning. We've got Kevin Palmer is going to be, we're trying to set him up. He's going to come in here and talk grass fire dangers and stuff like that. Guys, let's be responsible. Let's be grown up adults. Let's use common sense when we're out there in the elements, when we're doing things in the elements. And anyway, you guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow and see ya.